Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Benetti. Welcome to Sight NYC. It's Wednesday, September 29th, and it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm here with my co-host. Hi, Chris. Chris George, psychic medium.
How you doing, Stephanie? What's going on?
Talking to you.
Yeah, nothing different, huh?
So I just want to talk about last week. Last week we had Gloria Waslin. She was a fantastic guest. I'd like to thank her for being online with us.
Right. Thank you so much, Gloria. It was very, very nice having you as our guest last week. And I want to say, last week we were supposed to have a different guest, Lorraine Bonamassa, who's a very, very close friend of mine, who I had done a lot of different psychic things for. Her son passed away, and when I met her, and I channeled her son, and she was actually going to come on and talk about it, but she couldn't make it because she had severe head pain. It winds up that she has a brain bleed, and it looks like she's going to be on the other side soon. And
we're sorry to say this.
Right, my heart goes out to her and her family because they're fantastic people, and I love them dearly. And just keep the faith, you guys, and know that you have somebody here who always help you.
I'd just like to say we receive so many emails and so many callers, and we can't always get to the calls, but you can always contact us on Blog Talk Radio or on Facebook under Sight Para or Stephanie Benetti, Bennetti, or Chris George Scherillo, Scherillo. And you could always get in contact with us other than tonight's show. And we especially like having emails because it enables us to get back to people.
Right, because so many people call, and we can't take everybody's phone call. And by emailing me, it also gives me a chance to actually concentrate on it and meditate on it and get back to you in a more in-depth reading, which I enjoy doing. So I'm telling you guys, send me the emails, and I promise you I'll get them on the air.
Speaking of, we received one exceptional email from Elisa from Baltimore last week, and we traded several emails back with her. And she's having some issues. And Chris, elaborate.
Yeah. All right, I'm not gonna read her email because I don't know.
Very personal.
Yeah, it's personal. I don't think she would want me to, but I'm gonna answer it. And I believe she's actually online. We're gonna. You know what, Lisa? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my reading, and then we're going to have a very famous psychic as our guest tonight, Joyce Keller. And somewhere during that conversation, I'm going to bring you online, and you're going to actually talk with us on the air. So I'm going to give you my reading first, okay? I believe your problems stem from jealousy. That's first of all. I see a Spanish lady that practices one of the black arts, such as black magic, voodoo, or santeria. I'm pretty sure it's Santeria. In my experience, most of the time it is Santeria. I don't believe you know the woman personally. Someone you know who's very jealous of you brought this woman in to do work on you. Most times, I don't believe that black magic works unless you start to buy into it. If anybody who listened to the show last week, got an earful from me about black magic and voodoo, you know that I really don't believe all that much in it. So what you believe is what you manifest. So be careful with that. People many times create their own bad luck, which is what I believe is kind of happening to you at this point. Once things start going bad, it's hard to stop it. Your luck is going to change soon. I promise you. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I believe that meditation is going to play a very big part in you regaining trust in your own psychic ability, which absolutely has not left you. That's important for you to understand. Once you start doubting your ability, that's where you start running into problems. You have the ability. It's there. You just have to just trust it again, and I promise you it hasn't left you. It's there. You need to believe in yourself the way you always have, and you will absolutely put yourself back on the right track. You know, use the information that you give your own clients. Use it on yourself. All too often as psychics, we fail to realize that we really need to practice what we preach. You know, I make the same mistakes also. You know, I tell people so many different things, and then there are times that I could use that information that I'm giving other people on myself, and a lot of times I don't. So I know you can absolutely relate to that. You're real good at what you do. You know, this I know for a fact also. Use your knowledge to help yourself. Don't feed into the negative, which is something I truly believe that you've said to your own clients. You know, don't feed into the negative. I mean, think about it. Sit there for a second and think about it. Those are words that have come out of your mouth, okay? And we'll find out if I'm right when I bring you on the line later, but I truly believe that. The issue with your cat, I believe, is alive. Just so you know, I don't know if the cat's going to come back, but I don't think the cat has passed. And your husband with the whole job thing, sometimes things just don't seem like they're right, but you know what? Give it a little time, and that's going to work out too. You'll find that he made the right choice. And I don't know why this is coming into me right now, but I'm seeing aircraft around you. Maybe when you come on the line, you could elaborate on that, because I just, for whatever reason, as I'm talking, I'm getting a vision of aircraft. Okay. That's my reading for you. I hope it was helpful. And like I said, Lisa, we're going to bring you on the line in a bit, and and we'll talk about it.
We also have an email from Betty Jo from Maine, as well as Jay, who lives in Staten Island, where we are. I just want to mention the agenda. We also have a night, St. Andrew's Cemetery.
Right.
Would you like to give a little?
Right. Well, October 29th, which is a Friday, we're going to be doing a paranormal investigation of St. Andrew's Cemetery. We have another big investigation coming up on the 30th. It's the Halloween investigation of Bailey Seton Hospital, which is a very haunted...
It's a psychiatric
hospital. Very haunted...
partially abandoned.
Hospital here in Staten Island. And that's going to be October 30th into the 31st. I'm also going to be at the Vanderbilt Catering Hall doing a psychic fair on November 14th. And this is something that's really cool. I personally am planning a very big psychic fair in November in New York. So all my New York and Staten Island and Brooklyn and Connecticut people, keep an ear out for that, because it's going to be really good. You can follow us. You could find out any information you want on www.secondsightnyc.webs.com.
You could also follow us on Blog Talk Radio under Second Sight NYC.
Right, obviously
you
Facebook.
You can also do Facebook, exactly, at SEC.
SIGHT, second word, Para, P-A-R-A.
Or personally, Chris George, Stephanie Benetti. I mean, you can find us many methods.
Right, and tonight we'll be doing a couple phone readings, hopefully. I'll be doing 2 more email readings for sure. And the thing I'm most excited about is we have, not only is she my mentor, but I consider her a very, very close personal friend. She is a world-famous psychic. I know when she gets online she's going to downplay it. I'm letting you all know right now, the woman is absolutely phenomenal. She's been all over the world. She's been on every talk show you can imagine, including Oprah and Regis so many times. I mean, I think she's probably lost count.
Actually, anyone else should look at her website. It's www.joycekeller.com.
Yeah,
she's
real impressive. And like I said, very close personal friend of mine, and I love it dearly. And we're going to bring her on the line now.
Hello, Joyce. Are you with us?
I'm laughing at that introduction. Thank you.
Well,
what can I say?
Listen,
you're the woman.
Listen, but this is coming. I want you to know, Stephanie. One time she introduced me as the Leonardo da Vinci of the psychic world.
But it wasn't the Sultan.
No, it wasn't. And she said she was telling people how cute I was. Telling them, she said, I want you to picture his eyes. They're the color of the sky when it meets the ocean. That is the beautiful color of his eyes.
Right,
so she's put me on the spot quite a few times.
She didn't say Swami or Sultan, so we have to give her that.
Well, not yet she hasn't.
Hi, Joyce. How are you?
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Chris. No, really, you're both extraordinary, and I think your eyes are the same color. Is that right?
No, hers are a bit more blue than mine. Mine
very beautiful. The four eyeballs are very attractive.
Oh, thank you.
You're making me blush.
And by the way, Jack is sitting right here, and he said he was responsible for that amazing statement about you being Leonardo da Vinci of the psychic world. I believe that's what he said.
Oh my God! You know what? You're absolutely right about that. Very, very embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing.
I took help for that statement.
Joyce, he's a ham.
No, it's really true. Jack was right about that. No, you're both amazing, really. So I love what you have coming up. This is all very exciting. A little spooky, but all very exciting.
Well, we have quite a few things, and we're looking forward to them. And we have so many people who are interested in joining us, which is great. But aside from that, we wanted to talk to you, and let's talk about how you got started, how you and Chris met, and I have a slew of questions I can ask.
Joyce, I'm just going to ask you to please keep out that secret rendezvous that we had. We'll just keep that on the down low, okay?
Please.
I'm thinking. Could one of you please tell me how we met? It seems like you've been my brother all my life. I mean, I really don't remember.
Agree with that.
That's a very sweet comment.
I don't. Thank you. I honestly don't know because I know it. It's like
I remember how we met, Joyce. I was doing a show on Blog Talk Radio talking about an investigation I did at the Shanley Hotel, and a woman, Ellen, had heard me on the show, and then she contacted me, and Ellen from Heaven Sent, who was a fantastic lady, and she actually called me and said, you know what? I think you would be a great guest on the Joyce Keller show. She's a great woman, great host, and all this stuff. And I said, I would love to do it.
Thank you for reminding me.
That's how we met.
Sure. This is great. Now, so we owe Ellen a big thank you for all the PR work that she does and the introduction. I'm very indebted.
I wouldn't know you either, Joyce. So
yes, and Stephanie, you're a bright light in my life. Because you're one of our not only great friend, but you're also our very own computer nerd. Which
I've been accused of such.
I like that, a computer nerd.
Yes. You really have a good grip on what happens with the computer world, which is amazing.
Well, technology is my thing.
That's so left brain, though, Stephanie. Most of us are functioning on this show and the metaphysical world with the right brain, but you're incredibly left-brained, and you combine both, which is really amazing. And Jack does that, too. Those are the
I know. Your husband and I have quite a bit in common.
Right, I'm worried about
I'm the engineer of this relationship.
Right, and myself and Joyce have quite a bit in common. You talking about the left brain and the right brain reminds me of something that you said to me on your show, which I have to say, many, I've been on your show 7 times now, and every time you always put me on the spot in one way or another. Okay? And tell me if you remember this comment that you made about me. You said the psychic part of your brain, Chris, is genius, but the other part of your brain, not so genius.
Not so much.
Do you remember saying that?
No, I don't remember.
I think I agree with that, Joyce, even if you don't recall it.
I
really recall it.
Don't remember, but I know that was really meant in the nicest way because...
sure it was.
No, really, the same thing with me, with my left brain. When it comes to math or anything of the left brain, I really have to make a tremendous effort. I remember now, Stephanie was asking me before about early days of starting out. I remember when I first started taking math, they said, this girl is completely retarded, or whatever the term was at that time. They said, we're putting her in with the learning disabled people. And I said, wait a minute, I don't belong in here with them. I mean, they were drooling. I mean, God bless them, but I mean, I didn't think I belonged in there. Because it turned out I have a very high IQ, but that's just on the right side of my brain. The left side. So as soon as I realized what the problem was, that I had to make a real effort to get my act together and get out of there, I enrolled the help of people who could help me and teach me about math and teach me about left brain things. And then I did fine. I got out of there. But I think, Chris, what I wanted to say, and I'm sorry, that's the way it came out, I think you and I had to make an effort to bring that left brain up to the right brain standard. I mean, do you agree with that?
I think you're probably right.
Chances are you're more balanced than I am. You're able to do it more. But
well,
I just wanted to share that.
I've been working on it, I got to tell you.
It doesn't come easily. Now, you mentioned before about taking a tour through a cemetery, and
right.
I have to tell you, my early days, I think I had mentioned this to both of you before, started out, I grew up as a kid in Brooklyn, and my father and mother decided that their favorite thing in the world was to drive through cemeteries and to put flowers on the graves of our relatives. And I realized this was just a bad thing for me to do, because I could see people walking and crying and people who weren't really there. A lot of sadness there that I think I didn't want to really be involved with this. But there I was in the back of their car all the time, driving through Calvary Cemetery and Greenwood Cemetery, all these cemeteries in Brooklyn. And one day my parents were looking at mausoleums, one of their favorite things to do. And my dad said to my mother, I mean, they were, just because they were old Italians, I mean, can we relate to this?
Well, I can definitely relate.
My father said to my mother, looking at a mausoleum, he said, Grace, why don't we buy one of, because they had money at the time, that let's buy one of these little mausoleums. So I was looking at it, and I'm thinking, this is a really bad idea. I'm 4 years old. I'm thinking that these crazy people are going to move me to a mausoleum. I thought they wanted to move there and live there. And I just really, I went crazy in the back seat of the car. I was so upset. I started crying, and I said, you can't do this. There's no place for my bike. There's no place for anything. It's just horrible. It's so, I don't see kids. I don't see good humor. I don't see anything here. What are you people doing?
Right.
So they said, what's wrong with her? And then my
there's
mother,
nothing wrong with you, but I got to tell you, I'm quite the opposite, because I go to the cemeteries and I do little investigations, and
I know.
I love it. I would camp out. I would bring a sleeping bag and hang out all night.
And let me just mention that I'm the biggest debunker person around.
Yeah.
That when we go out on any investigation, I'm the first person to say, it's the lighting, it's this, it's that. I take fantastic photos.
Well, you took that photo of me on the grave, and my whole face changed.
But the reality is, I will not make something into it something that it really isn't. So.
Right, but going to the cemeteries isn't for everybody. I know that. I like doing it because I feel that for me personally, it's very easy for me to channel there. I feel a lot of the spirits, want to talk. A lot of them have family that hasn't gone to visit them in years, some of them hundreds of years. You have the people that have been buried since the 17 and 1800s. They have nobody going to visit them, and they want to talk, and I go there, channel them, and let them talk, So for me, it's cool. I enjoy it.
I just was stricken by the extreme sadness of the place. For me, it was a downer.
I can appreciate that.
It was just too sad. Too many sad vibrations. Too much crying there. And people. Oh, here's another pet peeve that I have.
Yeah, the word is lament, right? It's lamenting. These people are lamenting.
Lamenting,
Yeah.
And you pick up on that, and you can take that home with you. And maybe Chris knows how to handle it, and I wish that you would address that, Chris, because a lot of people go there and they take that sadness home with them, or they take illnesses home that people actually died from, and they need to know
that's very true.
You need to tell people how they can separate themselves from that extreme sadness. Maybe you could address that. How they can pick up their energy.
That's definitely something that I will talk about, and I'll teach people how to do that. I agree with you. I think it's very important because most people have no clue. So
and they go in.
You're definitely right about that.
They go in unprotected. Now, I know people who have gone in unprotected, feeling such extreme grief, and then they themselves become ill. And if you think that that's not possible, folks, it really is true. And I saw it happen many, many times. And what you have to do then is have a spirit cleansing or soul cleansing, call it what you will. Chris and I can help you with that. And just to lift yourself out of it, it's not even a physical thing, but it manifests in the physical.
That's right.
Joyce, I'd just like to mention your website, JoyceKeller with a K.com. But Joyce, you're also on after the show, so where are you located for the folks that are online and willing to listen?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. But first of all, I'm sitting here at my computer, and I have to tell you, speaking of Ellen, we said such nice things about her. Unfortunately, she said she's not able to hear the show. She's hearing an old show, so God only knows what she's listening to. But I wanted to tell you, she wanted to.
That's weird. I mean, we have a lot of listeners on the line right now. I have so many phone callers, so many callers, so many people. She must be on the wrong thing.
Yeah, but I'd like Joyce to mention where she's going to be at.
Okay. Thank you. That's very gracious. I appreciate that. Yeah, okay, I have to say something nice about myself. We have the world's longest running. Thank you. We
appreciate that.
The world's longest running paranormal body, mind, and spirit show. We've been on the air since live on air since 1987 at WGBB 1240 AM on the radio dial. For those of you who still have radios in the New York area. We started doing that show in 1987, and
wow.
I figured it won't last. The show it's still on the air at the same station, and we've gone through different types of owners. Now we're owned by the Chinese radio network.
But they can't get rid of you, right?
They can't get. They said,
you still exist.
I told you, they said,
fantastic.
Hello, Joy. So I said, hello, Joy, you stay. And that's it. That was all. They love buying English-speaking stations as their favorite thing to do. So they bought our station, so I'm hanging. They had no idea what I do. They know I get a lot of calls, a lot of emails.
You definitely do. Let me ask you a question now. Now, on the show, I've been a guest on your show 7 times now.
Yay, Chris.
And I love it. I love being a guest on your show.
Well, we were last week as well.
Yeah, right, last week we did the show.
You have to be on again.
Maybe you could. I'll be on it anytime you want.
Thank
I'm on.
you.
You know that.
But I have a good question for Joyce.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Joyce, what could you tell us about, I guess, in terms of any stories about anyone famous that everyone would know? Because you have been on Oprah, you have been on Regis. I know I'm putting you under the gun. You've been on so many, Richard Bay. You've been on so many shows.
Okay,
give us some kind of juice.
I'm not going to tell you the really bad ones because they could still be alive.
No, we just would like something good.
But in private, you've told me some of the bad ones.
Not to mention.
Regis has been on our show a number of times. As a matter of fact, he was on a couple of weeks ago. And he's an old pal, and he endorses my books, and for some reason or other, he likes me. He's a psychic junkie. I would like people to know that. He, during his darkest moments when he was starting his career, this is very surprising, he started out going to psychics and tea leaf readers in Manhattan and getting the direction that he needed to get his career off and running. And they sent him to California, which is really where he began his career. So he has great respect for genuine people. And for that reason, and probably for that reason alone, he's been on with me. You know what? There are some people who really, really get on my nerves. I'm going to tell you. Now that you've opened a can of worms, I was on one.
Well, you did it to me last week with the whole Jackie Barrett thing. So,
but that's okay. He deserves it too.
We'll ask you now. Go ahead. Put it out there.
One time I was on. It was New Year's Day. Oh no, I forget when it was exactly. But I was on with Regis and Kathy Lee, not the not the host who's on now. And we were doing psychic predictions. And I said to Kathy Lee Gifford, who is very much against this whole field, by the way, in case you don't know that. Mm-hmm. She doesn't really appreciate us at all. I said, you know, Kathy, you're going to conceive a baby on your summer vacation this year, and he's going to be born nine months after August. So she said, oh, I don't think so. So 9 months later, she had Cody. And she said to Regis, oh, you know, we just had a baby. And Regis said, Joyce predicted this 9 months ago. You know, you would conceive a baby on your summer vacation. She said, I don't think so. So some people will not give you a break, and that's something I wanted to say. Regis is decent, and he's fair, and as far as...
Well, it's the whole seeing is believing, believing is seeing kind of concept.
Well, she should have realized, Kathy Lee Gifford, she should have realized that 3 or 4 months before her conception, I actually predicted it live on the air. I also predicted that, you know, the Berlin Wall would come down. Oh, here's another thing. No, see, now you've really ticked me off. I love
it. I love it when you get going.
We were in the green room doing predictions for the year, and there were a whole bunch of psychics in there, and all of us were talking 2 hours before our time on Regis' show. That was January. And I said, we all gave our predictions, but as we were walking out onto the set, as I went through the double doors, my guide said to me, "Say the Berlin Wall is coming down this year." And I said, "Oh, God help me, I can't say that because I don't." They said, "Say it." So we went out into the set, and I gave my prediction. I said, "I believe the Berlin Wall is coming down this year." And the astrologer who sat to my right, Howard Sheldon, said, "Oh yeah, I think so too."
Of course, he was fighting for your prediction.
Pardon me?
Don't you love it when they do stuff like that? That drives me crazy.
It's really annoying. So there are a lot of people who really get on our nerves. That's my. Thank you for letting me vent.
Well, quite a few, and I love that I'm kind of putting you on the spot because you've done it to me so many times, especially with the whole seance in the city thing. I don't know if you remember that, but you really put me on the spot with that.
No, what happened?
But I love it. It's okay, and I just like to be able to do it to you also.
Sure, go ahead.
Now, Joyce, I have a question for you. Before. Did you hear the email reading that I gave to Lisa before we brought you on?
I heard one reading at the end, which was phenomenal, right before I came on, the reading that you gave before, which was really amazing. Is that the one you mean?
Well, yes. What I'm going to do is, in a couple of minutes, I want to actually bring her online, and maybe the two of us together can help her out a bit. But before we do that, I want to know all your years on the radio. I want you to tell me who your favorite guests have been, and of course I'm not putting you on the spot to say me. Leave me out of it completely. But maybe your favorite guests and maybe some of the more famous psychics that you kind of like brought into the business, where you gave them a start on your show.
Oh, please, I have to tell you right away, okay? Don't put me on hold.
I won't mute you.
No, you know that you're my favorite, but because you told me not to say that. Well, we've had John Edward on, and we've also had, I'm forgetting that Ben Prague has been on, and we've had everybody on. And what can I say? There are some people I will not have on, like George Anderson, for instance, because I think he's a fraud, and I'm not embarrassed to go out on the line and say it. He's
wow, that's a big statement, because George Anderson's very famous, actually.
Oh, please. He couldn't even get here.
But everyone's entitled to their opinion.
And
I'm sorry, I went to see him for a reading when he was when we were both starting out. He was in Babylon, and I lived in Babylon also. What a waste of my time, really, and money, by the way.
Really? Wow.
And some people he reads very accurately. I have to say that I think it's he has a really big pet peeve, kids. I think it's so wrong to charge a huge amount of money, which George Anderson does, which Sylvia Brown does, which Ben Prague does, with John Edward. All of these people have absolutely no heart, no soul, to go out and charge people who are unemployed, hurting, widowed, the child is ill, whatever it is.
I would like to add Jackie Barrett to that list.
So go ahead.
But I'd like to add to that personally, I've watched Chris, that people will contact him, and he really assesses it that just because you don't have money, it's not that I'm not going to give you good advice and insight. And this guy is a big believer of that, and I respect that as well.
Well, thank you,
awful that psychics, really, it's a wonderful thing. It's awful that psychics put money first, and that's really unacceptable. God doesn't like that.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
And you're very, very generous.
Why don't we bring on Lisa, and then maybe we can help her out a bit more.
I'd like to just to recap for Joyce and the listeners of what Lisa, wait, let me bring her on. Hi, Lisa. Are you there?
Hi.
We have Joyce
so
Teller.
Oh, lovely to meet you. Thank you.
We have Chris George online. It's Stephanie Benetti, and so
this is such an honor. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Chris will just recap for Joyce and yourself just the scenario. And
well, Lisa sent me an email last week, and then she was going through a lot of bad things were happening to her.
A series of bad.
I don't know if Lisa wants to elaborate on that, she can. But she just wanted to know basically what's going on and and that's pretty much it. And,
so, Lisa,
and
would you like?
Lisa,
would you like
well,
to?
we just had. I mean, it's almost. If it wasn't happening to me, I
Can
don't know if I would believe it.
Wait, Sharon, before you say anything else, honey. Before you say anything else, I did not hear the reading, and I don't want to. I just want to jump in before I lose it. There's so much jealousy around you. I cannot tell you. I don't know what Chris said to you before because I wasn't on the air. You can cut through the jealousy with a knife. There are people who just really are. You must be very beautiful or something because they really hate you.
I know. How accurate.
That's all I have to say in a nutshell.
That is so accurate.
That's actually what I said.
Let me just mention. Wait, folks. Let me just mention last week when we received the email, and I do believe I was typing it for you, Chris.
Right. Yeah. Well, because I'm not too good at typing.
It was big with jealousy.
Right.
That was the concept of the email. I mean,
I also picked up that there was a Spanish lady involved, and I don't think that it's a woman that you actually know, Lisa. I don't know if you're involved with people who are into the whole Santeria thing, but I think that's playing somewhat of a part in what's going on with you. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Well, someone wishes bad.
Right.
Well, I don't. This is so confusing to me because I am a light worker. I really try. I've been psychic all my life or gifted. I don't know the right words to use. I never charge for a reading. I do this because I enjoy it. I think it is helpful to people. I'm going to start to build a client base and start charging what people can afford. But I do this hours and hours and hours a day, and I do it because I love it, and it's a gift. But I have no idea what has occurred over, especially the last, I'm going to go 2 months. It is incredible. It's biblically plague-like, the things that have occurred. And I don't know who this person would be, but it could open the phone book. And,
you don't have to know them. Really.
Joyce, could you just tell us what you think?
I think that it comes down to jealousy, and there's so much negativity, and you don't even have to know the person. You don't have to know the shooter. You just know you're being shot, and that's exactly what happened to you. It's someone who attacked you with dark arts, so we'll call it that because I don't know what kind of arts they were using, and that's a nice word for a lot of very, very bad things. But what you need to do, and Chris is very good at helping you, helping anyone dismiss or get rid of negativity when it's directed to them. So, Chris, in this case, I know what I would do, but what would you... This is your specialty, right, Chris?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of psychic protection that you can do, and what I don't... For me to actually get into the whole psychic protection now would take too long, but what I'm going to tell you, Lisa, is I will send you psychic protection. I will teach you how to do it.
We'll speak with you after.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm going to help you.
Do you see this better?
You have the website, like you know how to contact us on Sight, but you
I
also know Chris George, and I'm Stephanie Benetti. I'll friend you as well, and we can possibly...
Yeah, I'm gonna help you with that. I'm gonna send you a series of things that I'm gonna want you to do. The things that I do myself. I'm not gonna tell you something to do that I wouldn't myself do. It's something that I teach my own psychic development students this stuff. So.
But we've had conversations about this, and from what you've said to me, Chris, is that you do see things getting better, not necessarily worse.
Absolutely.
So, providing she does the good aspects of it.
Well, she is good, so it's going to get better.
So things should get
much
better.
You know, Joyce, can I ask you a question? I see that Lisa has a lot of psychic ability. I also see that she's not trusting in it right now. I mean, that was something I was picking up very heavily when I was actually concentrating on giving her this reading. Is there something some advice you could give her, psychic advice or personal advice that you've gone through yourself, how she could actually have confidence in her own ability again?
Well, that's really good. That's also part of, when she starts charging, it's going to help a lot because she's going to see, and she just mentioned, so funny because I saw there wasn't enough money coming in for the work that she gives out, and she actually will see a tremendous change in the energies when she starts charging and people start paying her and she sees money coming in. That is the number one way for us to increase our confidence. Say, that person gave me money, because money is important in our society. So that's going to help a lot. And she's going to have tremendously good feedback. She's going to, if she wants, she can contact me, and we'll talk about being on this show and your show, whatever. We like to help.
No, how kind. That is so generous.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Really.
I need a network. I really do.
Joyce, just mention your website and your show.
It's Joyce Keller. And by the way, we have a great guest on tonight. I want to give him a little plug. It's Dr. Leonard Caldwell, and he has been on with us before. He's back tonight. I love the fact that I can get to rest, because he will be a nonstop talker talking about how people can be healthy and well without going to doctors. And God forbid, if a person has cancer or something tremendously serious, he will also have natural remedies. And this guy is really good. And he's helping people with everything from skin lesions from the sun to all kinds of things. So he's really a miraculous person. So
well, you know what? I promise you that we'll be listening tonight.
Thank you. He's really
Lisa, so just so you know, you can contact us. You can contact Joyce. Hopefully.
And Lisa, you know what? Why don't you friend me on Facebook? I know you're friends with Sight, which is also me, but me personal, Chris George Cirillo. Send me a friend request, because I tried to find you on my phone.
Yeah, I have such privacy issues on there, because I do get such hate and just such rude comments, and who do you think you are? And I'm like, I don't know who you are. It's just a very personal
eliminate the negative.
Honestly, and I do the psychic protection, because if I don't, I'm so empathic that I pick up neighbors' conversations and thoughts and everything. So I do try to control that, but I just needed to know what in the world had happened over the last 2 months. I mean, a sexual assault. Our house was vandalized, robbed. An animal we don't know if passed or not. I mean, my husband's job.
You
just
said the cat hasn't died, right?
I don't believe the cat has died, and don't be surprised.
I don't believe the cat has died either, but I just
don't be surprised if he pops up. Don't be surprised if he pops up.
All right, so Lisa, thank you for calling in, and we'll speak with you soon, and we intend on being in touch with you.
Right, I'm going to help you out with that problem.
Joyce knows you now as well, so we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Don't worry.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Poor thing.
So,
that's awful.
Joyce, if you'd be kind enough, we would like to take another caller for a psychic reading.
Right.
Why not?
I'd love for you to give a reading on the air.
All right, so we're going to take a 718 number. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. My name is Beatrice.
Hi, Beatrice.
Hi, Beatrice.
Hi. I have a question.
All right, well, what's your question, B?
Okay. My son's girlfriend is pregnant, and she went to the doctor today, and they told her that the baby is not putting too much weight on. Is the baby? My question is the baby going to be okay?
Is the baby going to be okay? She really has to make some serious changes. Did she have anorexia a year or two ago? You probably don't know. Okay.
Well, she didn't have anorexia, but she had this issue about being fat.
That to me is anorexia.
That's anorexia.
So
I agree.
Serious. This girl has serious malnutrition. Can she? It would help a lot if she listens to our show tonight, and if she contacts Dr. Caldwell, who will help her during this pregnancy. I feel that she can save the baby. It'll all be fine, but it's very nutritionally based, and she's still in time. So Caldwell is really great at helping people reconstruct their cellular issues, because this goes way, way back. Her bones and everything are in serious need of nutrition. Okay, B?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
You're very welcome, B.
Good
luck.
Have
a great night.
Be well, and God bless you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, B.
Thank you.
You know, Joyce, I have to tell you, the last girl that was on with us, basically, you pretty much confirmed everything that I had said, which I love. It just makes me feel like I'm doing a pretty good job here.
Come on, you don't need me to say that, because you know very well that you're very, very honest and you're very powerful. I have to tell you about the red circles. Do I have another minute? Do I have?
Yeah, sure.
Stephanie, how am I doing?
Oh, please do. No, you have plenty of time, Joyce.
Now, you know
we'll always
that
take time for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, in our house, wherever I live, this is the work that I've done for my whole life. So, I've seen a lot and I know a lot. And when you and Chris were here at our house 2 months ago, we took a lot of pictures, and the pictures were phenomenal. I've never seen anything quite like this. Now, when Chris was in trance, I believe you took the pictures of Jack. I'm not sure. But we could see, without the camera, we could see all these tremendous these really red circles moving all around, all these spirit circles. They were incredible. I've never seen such power, such energy, and the camera picked up a lot of it. Jack doesn't have his microphone on, but I wanted him to pick up the microphone. And, honey, tell us about the what you saw and what your camera picked up.
We can't hear him.
Oh, Jack, sweetheart, speak into the microphone because they can't.
I'm sorry, I forgot to turn it on.
Go ahead, honey.
There you go.
No, on the video there was, I remember distinctly one red light that just seemed to move across the room.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Mm-hmm. I think there were some other things too, but that was the most distinct one on the videotape.
No, this is when I was in trance channeling at your house.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You were sitting here on the couch.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I know. I saw that big red. There was one great big red one, which probably was your dad. I'm not sure, but the other ones were just moving all around, having the best time, bouncing all over, and you were in deep trance. And it was phenomenal. I've seen a lot of things. That was one of the best.
I remember that night. I think I actually channeled 2 spirit that night. I think 2. Am I right?
Yeah, it was at least 2, and very accurate. Mm-hmm. It was really accurate. Now, when is your next seance, Chris? What's going on?
My next seance. Am I on your show or are you on my show?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know when the next seance is. I'm ready to do another one. I'll probably wind up doing it at the TRS or ARE in Manhattan. And when I figure it out, I'll be posting it all over the place, and and I'll let people know. I just don't. I don't have a date set yet.
Oh, let me ask you both a question, if I may. There are so many born-again Christians and people who follow the Bible. I love the Bible. But apparently in there it says that you shouldn't be involved in any kind of channeling or work with the spirit or anything like that. And they also mix it in with witchcraft, which, of course, drives me crazy. And it's in no way connected.
Drives me crazy, too.
Of course, it's not connected with Satanism or witchcraft or anything. It's simply the transference or the channeling of spirit energy. And we try to keep it as pure and as holy as possible. But, Chris, what do you say about that?
Well, I definitely have an opinion on that. Say somebody passes in your family and you go to church and the priest talks to you and those are just words, okay? And can they be helpful? Absolutely. I believe in God. I believe a priest can help you by counseling you and whatnot. But what I love is the fact that there are times where I can actually channel that person who's just passed. And I give people a chance to actually speak to that person one last time and maybe get a message that they needed to hear, just that one time. And why is that bad? How can that be bad? If the church is against that, then shame on the church. And I'm Catholic. But shame on the church if they're against that. And that's just how I feel. I've helped so many people. You have helped so many people. I've channeled so many spirits that have given messages that were so important and so heartfelt to people. And when I'm channeling, I don't get to see their reactions because I'm a trance channel and I just don't remember what happens. But I do get to see them when I come out of trance. And when I see them and they have those tears in their eyes, and they're tears of joy, with tears of amazement, that they're amazed that they actually got to speak to that loved one last time, you know what that does for me? It makes me want to do it again. And it makes me want to help more people. And that's my answer. I cannot imagine how it can be wrong.
Right.
That's exactly right. I'm sorry, John.
May I add something to that?
Sure.
First of all, the book of Deuteronomy, which seems to be the favorite book of fundamentalists, starts out, chapter 1, with Moses delivering the 10 commandments to people. Among the commandments, loving God and so forth, there's one entitled, Thou shalt not kill.
Right.
Now, 2 or 3 or 4 chapters later, we're talking about God telling his people to go and sack cities, to put the men to death by sword, and taking the women and children into slavery.
Oh, that's a
now,
contradiction.
you see, it doesn't jibe. It really doesn't jibe. And in the old Hebrew tradition, much of it is based on God being a very harsh and vengeful God. And as we come to know more and more, this is not true and never was true. Especially Jesus came to dispel this notion. And in fact, he did not tell people to go to the temple. He said, go into your own private closet and pray to your God. Right. He also said, God is closer than your own right hand. He said, when people challenged him and said he was evil, he said, by your fruits you are known. As you just said, Chris,
that's great,
the results of what you did showed that which side you were on.
Mm-hmm.
And another
that's right.
thing,
You better believe it.
So healing. One
more thing I wanted to say before about Lisa, because she seemed, disturbed, of course, and uncertain because she's a light worker. She's been doing good. But unfortunately, Virginia, there is evil in the world. And those that are on the dark side attack those that are in the light of God. And in her case, it's a very extreme case. I'm so glad you're going to help her and give us some psychic protection techniques.
You'll take care of it. So go ahead. Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Jack.
Thank you, Mr. Jack Keller. We appreciate you coming on board. So, Joyce, we'd like to thank you as well for being on our show. I mean, world psychic, Miss Joyce Keller.
And I just want to say, I am so humbled to have you on our show, and so proud to call you a friend. And I'm not just saying that because you're on the show.
No, but let folks know. JoyceKeller.com. Also, Joyce, your show's on after hours now.
It's on right now. It's on 10 o'clock Eastern time. So until Tom moves us to a different time, we're on 10 o'clock, but which will be in 15 minutes. But
people can link on if they go to JoyceKeller.com. Right on the home page, they can click the link for the station website and
Stephanie,
audio streaming. Right from
thank you, Jack. Stephanie, do I have time to tell a very quick thing that happened after my mother
Yes,
died?
you do.
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Please do.
My mother, I never knew my mother to be able to walk. She always had brace and crutches and a wheelchair, and that's the way I knew my mother. And she was just the most wonderful person who ever lived. But she had this really terrible handicap, and she had it until she took her last breath, of course. And when she crossed over, that very night she came to each one of us, her grandchildren and all of us, and she said, look what I can do. And she showed me very clearly that she threw her crutches away, she threw her brace away, and she said, look what I can do. And she ran over a mountain, and she ran back, and she said, isn't this the greatest thing ever? She said, it's been so many years since I could do this. And she was so happy. And and then she ran over the hill. I didn't see her again for a long time. But I just wanted to share that with you about how great spirit contact can be. So,
fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, such great joy, and same thing is true with my dad.
That reminds me of Chris said about
do we have time?
About his father. I think
we do.
Sometimes
we do have a couple callers to take, though. Don't worry.
I'm just saying sometimes they can be very busy on the other side and may not contact us for a while.
They could be busy.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Thank you, Chris. And
so we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Joyce, you have been fantastic. Thank you so
and
much.
Thank you, Jack, as well.
You guys are too good to us. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for having us on.
All right.
Okay.
Good night.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.
So let's just talk about the other emails we received. We also received last week Betty Jo from Maine.
Right. Betty Jo from Maine just wanted, basically simple, how do I start a paranormal group? Okay, well, you're asking the right person. First, you need to find people who love paranormal investigating. Don't surround yourself with a bunch of fools who just like to be scared and run around like, whatever. Professional people, because it's very important to respect spirits. So you want good people around you, okay? A great way to find people like that is right here on Facebook. Facebook is fantastic for finding people who are into paranormal investigating. Okay, obviously you need some equipment, a digital voice recorder or an EVP recorder, very important. Still camera, digital is preferred by me anyway. Camcorders, absolutely. Dowsing rods help. Full-spectrum video recorder is good. An EMF meter measures electricity, very important. A thermal thermometer, very important. There's so many different things. There's miscellaneous stuff like, obviously flashlights. You could get like balls and powder to do different types of investigating.
Yeah,
things.
but there's obvious things. There's things like intuition. There's
I'm getting
just
to that,
the
for sure.
obvious observations and being in tune to the environment and being respectful as well as just paying attention.
Right, I'm going to tell you what's most important, I think. I think that you need to have a skeptic in your group, someone who's going to challenge any bit of information you get, because there's so many people say, oh, I got this, oh, I got that. You know what? You really didn't get anything.
Who's the skeptic in your group?
Well, you're definitely the skeptic. But that's good, because the skeptic is going to be the one who's going to challenge you to get those great
I'd say
things.
It takes it on a better scale every
Absolutely.
time.
Well, it makes it more professional, because it just does. You need somebody who's going to analyze all this evidence that you're going to come up with, analyzing the pictures, analyzing the video, analyzing the EVPs. I mean, it takes a lot of work, and you have to have people who are really dedicated and really want to do this. I think it's very important. Now, this is something I got into a big argument with a bunch of people on Facebook this week. I think it's important to have somebody who's a sensitive in your group, someone that's psychic, someone who's a medium. I think it's very important. This one person, well, actually a couple people said, no, you don't need them, and blah, blah, blah. I can get better evidence without them. I say, you know what? Baloney, because when you have a psychic there, and they can say, you know what, there's a spirit here named John, okay? And then you go and do an EVP, and you actually get somebody saying the name John on that EVP. That just makes that evidence that much more incredible. I mean, don't you think so, Steph? I mean, if you went by yourself, say, and just got an EVP, there's somebody here and it says John. Okay, that's phenomenal. But now imagine you have somebody there with you that says, there is a spirit here named John. And then you get on that recorder, John. It just makes it so much more impressive. It makes it easier for the group to get the evidence, you know. I just think it's important. Of course, you need some brave people. I mean, it's nice to have the one person in the group who gets scared real easy, because, you know, it gets comical at times. But, you know, try to have some brave people around you, and you need places to investigate. And you know what? There are millions of places to investigate. Would you agree with that stuff?
Absolutely, and we have.
Yeah, I mean, you can go into any house.
I'm the biggest skeptic there is.
Right, and you're the one who gets the best.
Exactly.
And you've gotten the best pictures. So.
Well, I do. I'm a photographer, I guess.
Well, it's
a creative designer as well.
Yeah, I would think so.
So we also have one last email I'd like to get to.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this email.
Well, I'm not that excited, but let's speak of it. Jay from Staten Island.
Jay from Staten Island. Now, for those of you who listened last week, I had a Mitch that wanted to know if his wife was cheating, and I gave him what turned out to be a 100% spot-on reading, because everything I said that would happen happened this week, okay? He, in turn, told one of his friends, this guy Jay, about me, and Jay approached me and asked me the same question. He said, is my wife cheating? Okay. I have to say, right off the bat, I just got a weird feeling from him, and I know he's listening right now, and so I don't want you to think I'm like this radio tough guy just saying stuff because I'm never going to see this person again. What I'm about to say, he can absolutely confront me on it tomorrow, because he's going to see me tomorrow. So this is my reading to you. Is my wife cheating on me? All right. I have some news for you, Jay, that you may or may not like. This is a question that I get over and over again, and I'm happy to tell you that, no, your wife is not cheating on you. That's great news, don't you think, Steph?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay. I'm sure that makes you feel great, and I'm happy to make you feel good. All right. Now, funny thing happened as I was meditating on this question, Jay. Spirit told me that you already knew the answer to this, which kind of surprised me, you know. I'm thinking to myself, why would you ask me a question that a spirit, that you already knew, okay? You want to know what they told me, Jay? They said, you don't believe in psychics, and you were trying to make me look like a fool. Okay. Now, I got a little problem with this, Jay. My problem with this is not only did you disrespect me, you disrespected spirit. Not only did you disrespect myself and spirit, but you disrespected all those people out there who believe in me, who believe in the spirits, who give me my information, who could have used my time tonight on this radio show to get a spot on reading. But no, you took that away from them because you thought it was funny to try and make me look bad.
So let me just interject here.
Go ahead.
So why is it that you felt the need to respond to this then?
I'm basically telling you now because we have an hour on this show for me to give certain people readings, and I take it very seriously. I take what I do very seriously. Yeah, there are a lot of Shylocks out there. There are a lot of people that are fakes and frauds and phonies, and they take people for whatever they're worth, and they lie to them. I'm not that person. And when somebody comes to me with a bull beep question like he did, I just take such offense to that.
Question.
Yeah, well, you were pretty good with the editing there, Steph. It really bothers me because I could have spent this time on a real reading. I could have spent this time helping somebody who actually needs it.
Okay, so tell him what he
I have
needs
some more.
or does not need to know.
Okay, well, you know what? So then I decided to really concentrate and try and give you a spot on reading, Jay. This is going to be good, Jay. Are you sitting down? Are you laughing with your wife? At how you got me to try and answer, a ridiculous question that you already knew the answer to? Well, that's good. Because now it's my turn to turn the tables on you, Jay. I think, Jay, your wife, as I said, is not cheating on you. Are you all? Is everybody out there who's listening to the show ready for the big reveal? Great, because I'm ready to give it. Jay, your wife is cheating on you. You know what I mean? Oh, no, I read it wrong, Steph. Yeah. Jay, you're cheating on your wife. Jay, you are cheating on your wife. And you know what? She's known it for quite some time. You tried to make me look bad by answering a question that wasn't true, and here you are, you're the one cheating on your wife, and she knows it, okay? This is getting really bad for you, isn't it, Jay? I know it is. I really know it is. But I have a little bit more to tell you. She even knows who it is, okay? How does that make you feel? I'm sorry to tell you this, but she knows who it is, and I'm going to tell you this. It's not smart to cheat on your wife with her sister, okay? So now there's the big reveal. Yeah, she knows you're cheating on her with her sister. Now, you have to deal with that now, and I hope you enjoyed the reading.
So be it. So let's talk about a couple of events coming up. We have the Halloween investigation, October 30th, from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. at Bailey Seton Psychiatric Hospital.
Can we talk a little bit about that real quick, stuff?
Sure, we can.
We're going to be sending out an invite for that. It's going to be a big event. The first 40 to 50 people we could take. You're going to actually get to work with our paranormal group. We're going to break everybody up into 4 groups, and you'll work with us, hand in hand, doing all the investigating yourself. And the cool thing about this investigation is, as a team, we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna pick one person from that night who did exceptionally well, and we're gonna actually bring you on our team. You'll be part of Second Sight Paranormal, which I think is an awesome thing.
We also have the St. Andrew's Cemetery event.
Right, that's the night before.
The night before, 29th, right? It'll be approximately like 9 p.m. to 12.
9 to 12. That's going to be a lot of fun, too.
And we have extraordinary photos on www.secondsightnyc.webs.com that documents our endeavors there, as well as EVPs, and there's lots of information on that. I just want to mention that you could always follow us on Blog Talk Radio under Second Sight NYC. And the other event I'd like to mention is the Vanderbilt Psychic Fair.
Yeah, it's a psychic fair at the Vanderbilt Catering Hall here in Staten Island on Father Capodanno Boulevard. It's right on the beach, right on the boardwalk, actually. Beautiful place. They're expecting 300 to 400 people. There'll be probably 15 to 20 psychics there, myself being one of them. And You come in. I'm not sure how much it's going to be to get in. I don't think it's going to be too expensive, and we'll be able to give everybody, readings, probably 5 to 10 minutes. Nothing long, but we'll whet your appetite to get a longer reading later.
So I'd like to mention our next episode is October 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You could always follow us on Blog Talk Radio under Second Sight NYC. You could also check out our website, which is www.secondsightnyc.webs.com. You could follow us on Facebook as well,
right,
which would be SEC, S-E-C, Sight, Para, and Chris Cirillo, or Chris George Cirillo, Stephanie Benetti.
Yeah. And I'm asking you guys, send us some emails. We're here trying to make the unbelievable believable, and may the spirits guide you.
Thank you. Good night. You evidently have,